Hello Math fans, today we're going to look at the second part of section 4.1 of unit 4, and that is the concept of reduction. But also we're going to take a look at and remind you of something called scale factor. So scale factor is the constant. Now that's the key word there, is constant factor by which all dimensions of an object are enlarged or reduced in a scale drawing. Right? The dimensions of this rectangle are multiplied by 3, so your constant would be 3 for this example right here. Alright, so the scale factor is 3. So that means like if you measured the bottom here, well, you times that by 3, and that's what that bottom right here would be. Okay, so that would be 1, and that would be 3 times as big. Okay, and that would go for all sides of this rectangle. So if you look at the word reduction, reduction just makes it mean smaller. Before you looked at enlargement, and that meant bigger, so reduction is the opposite. It's a decrease in the dimensions of an object by a constant factor. Remember, a constant factor would be like a number. But in this case, you can also look at 2D or 3D objects. But in this case, you can see that each dimension of this reduction, so we look at the big light bulb, alright, is half. Another way to say half is like that, or another way to say half is like 0.5. Alright, the original. So we use this information, and here's another question that you're going to see on your test, so hopefully this will help you out. The scale factor used to draw the letter on the right. Okay, so we got to double check that. The key word here is the right. So when we look at the right, that'd be the smaller m. So we know that we're going to have a reduction here because we go from the bigger one to the smaller one. Hopefully that makes sense. So your options are A equal to 0, B equal to 1, C greater than 1, or D less than 1. Well, it can't be equal to 0. Equal to 1, which would mean that this m here on the left would be exactly the same as the m on the right, so it can't be that. When you look at greater than 1, that would mean that this m, the second m here, would have to be bigger. That was what an enlargement would be. So definitely it'd be less than 1. So it could be a half, it could be 0.5, which is the same. It could be 0.75. You'd have to count and do some of the math on that, but you would know that this is a reduction. So hopefully this helps you understand what scale factor is and reduction. And good luck. Or God luck too.